So my name is Adriane Braude. My title is Deputy Finance Director on January Contreras' now defunct Arizona Attorney General campaign. My job was mostly fundraising and compliance type of stuff. Here in Arizona, every political donation, you have to report your first and last name, your address, your occupation, and your employer. So I was kind of responsible for making sure that we had that information for every single contribution.
Okay, solid.
Yeah, and what would a daily, routine look like for you in the campaign?
So every day pretty much started off with a bright and early 8 a.m. call with the campaign manager, another couple people on the campaign as well. After that, usually go into the office. I oftentimes had meetings with different hosts. It was called a Rolodex meeting. So basically, a lot of people have never held political fundraisers before, and what the purpose of this meeting was to kind of explain what are their responsibilities, what's the best way to go about reaching out to folks. Some of the other things that I did, I often got the mail for the campaign. I often would do the deposit, so all the donations every day I would deposit them in the bank account. Another responsibility of mine was often staffing January. If somebody asked for something or wanted to get in touch with her later or invited her somewhere, I would often keep track of that kind of information as well. She did get endorsed by Obama, she got endorsed by Biden as well, and a number of other folks. Personally, I wanted to meet Janet Napolitano. She actually left in the middle of her second term to go to the Obama administration as Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. And she came and hosted actually 2 fundraisers for us. An interesting person that I did meet was a guy by the name of Martin O'Malley. Martin O'Malley was a presidential candidate for the Democrats in 2016. He hosted a fundraiser for us. He was kind of the dark horse behind Hillary and Bernie Sanders. Never really got a lot of traction. Most people don't know who he is. He was at one point the governor of Maryland as well. So got to listen to him talk, got to meet a senator from Nevada by the name of Catherine Cortez Masto, who I think was the first Latina in the Senate, which was pretty interesting as well. Ruben Gallego, who's a representative in Phoenix. Greg Stanton, if you've heard of him, he was the mayor of Phoenix and now is going to be a congressional representative for the district that Kyrsten Sinema just won. I met Kyrsten Sinema, I met David Garcia, I met a bunch of other folks too.
Yeah. Are you expecting any trends in the future voters of Arizona or the country at large?
So, this is something I've been talking to folks a lot about lately, and personally, I think when you look at the returns for this most recent election, there was a large segment of the population, significant, at least 150, 200,000 voters that voted for Ducey at governor, so that's a Republican at the top of the ticket, and then also voted for Sinema, right? So the question is, why did all these people vote for Ducey and then abandon Martha McSally? And to me, it's Trump. It's Trump. They look at Ducey, they say, this guy's somewhat independent, he's business-minded. Yeah, he went and stood up on the stage with Trump, but all of his commercials weren't about Trump. He wasn't constantly making America great again, this, that, and the other, right? So to me, I look at that and I think there is this portion of the electorate, some portion of Republicans, maybe 3%, maybe 8%, maybe 12%, I don't know, that's willing to buck Trump. And to me, that puts Arizona very much in play for 2020. So that's the thing. I think Arizona is slowly but surely becoming more purple, and I think that this election was a watershed moment.
What would you say was the most difficult part in working in the political field and volunteering in these campaigns, and what was your favorite part of working at the campaigns?
The most difficult part, I would say, is the time commitment. I've never worked so hard in my life. You could ask Asher over there. He would see me, I'd be at his house and I'd be on the computer doing work all the time. I was traveling all over the state. I went to the Navajo Nation, Sedona, Cottonwood, Tucson, Nogales. The list goes on and on and on. And it was quite a commitment as far as time.
Thanks.
My favorite part about it was the most consequential thing I've ever done in my life. I'm personally between Beto and Biden. What I want to see in a presidential candidate right now is somebody who excites people. That it's not, as fervently anti-Trump as I am, I'm still somewhat of a realist in the sense that I don't know that, hey, Trump is horrible, vote for me. Like, Hillary tried that, didn't work too well. So I want somebody who's actually going to get people up off the couch and inspire them and have a little bit of that Obama charisma factor. Mm-hmm. And I think Beto has that. And I think that Beto, out of all the candidates that I've seen, has the highest chance of bringing people off the sidelines who would not have been a part of the political process. Maybe they're too young and they talk to their parents. Maybe they just never vote. Maybe they just turned 18 and they're excited to vote because it's Beto. I want someone like that.